Hi, and welcome to Session 3 of the Emotional Resilience Workshop Facilitator Course. Take a moment and get acquainted with the contents of this course. Please review the agenda located in your Facilitator Manual. To review, in previous sessions we discussed the concepts of natural therapy by Dr. David Viscott, including emotional debt, the feeling cycle, and natural healing helpers. In our last session, we discussed two key points identified by Dr. Viscott. Emotional illness was a storage disease. The secret of mental health was to tell the person who hurt you that they hurt you when they hurt you. The feeling cycle describes two basic feelings: pleasure and pain. The name given a painful feeling depended on when the pain occurred. Pain in the present is called hurt. The purpose of hurt is to limit the extent of the damage done to you. If you didn't have the sensation of pain, you wouldn't know what danger to avoid. You'd be badly scarred and crippled. The role of hurt is to tell you you've been damaged. You learn your life's lessons in pain, so experiencing pain is necessary to grow. Feeling your emotional pain initiates the healing process. Pain in the present is as real a feeling as you can get. Expressing pain when it happens is vital to keeping yourself safe and your relationships honest. The purpose of expressing hurt is to release it, to let it go. This release of hurt forms the basis of forgiveness. The purpose of anger is to reinforce the expression of hurt. Instead of holding in your hurt and allowing yourself to be damaged further, your anger urges you to exclaim, "Ouch! Hey, what are you doing? That hurt. Don't do that. Stop." Anger is always more complicated to express than hurt. If you were more willing to express your hurt when it occurred, revealing anger would be a much more straightforward matter because it would occur simultaneously with the expression of the hurt that caused it. Unfortunately, everyone tends to withhold hurt. After a while, the hurtful event becomes distorted by time and is much more difficult to express. When you finally get around to expressing your hurt, it has largely evolved into anger, and your version of the original hurtful circumstances only makes sense to you. As anger ages, it leads you to question your goodness and act self-punitively to relieve your guilt. Guilt can be described as anger directed inward. Guilt has no purpose. Guilt does nothing to prepare you for danger or help you cope with pain. If anything, guilt makes matters worse by lowering your self-esteem and your sense of deservability. If anything, guilt is a sign that the natural therapeutic process has gone awry. It should be noted that conscience is not guilt. Your sense of conscience causes you to feel remorse after you have hurt someone or done something wrong. It is a function of the higher brain and enables you to look beyond yourself and your present situation, to put yourself in the position of others and empathize with their pain. Finally, depression is a state of lowered energy. Your energy has been diverted to contain your anger. With the limited energy that remains, it is hard to be productive, to do the work that supports your self-esteem, to love yourself or others. Although depression, like guilt, does not serve a positive function, it is felt in the body. You become constipated and lose weight. You are unable to sleep. When you do, you have troublesome dreams that escaping anger leaves in its wake. When you're awake, you're troubled by dark thoughts that can become so gruesome they challenge your belief in your own goodness. In this state, you can make a more trenchant and comprehensive case for putting yourself down than anyone else. You've been a party to all your own negative behavior and thoughts. At the slightest question of your worth, your mind readily provides the proof that you are bad and deserve to suffer. You betray yourself. Depression is always your doing. Understanding your feelings is the beginning of enlightenment. Remember that feelings are messengers. They are not final verdicts. Your feelings may be exaggerated, displaced, distorted, confused, and overstated, but they are your feelings. Accept your feelings as a part of yourself. You don't need to like them. You just need to be on speaking terms with them. The purpose of the natural therapeutic process is to allow you to get through your pain with as little damage to your self-esteem and energy resources as possible. Your life becomes understandable when you accept what happened to you and take responsibility for how you responded. The natural healing process can be viewed as the mourning process and defines the steps from denial to acceptance in coping with a loss. Losses are measured by what they mean to you, that is, by the pain they cause you. So in a sense, no one can ever really know your grief. Even when shared, your loss must be endured alone, which is exactly why losses are so painful. There are essentially three types of loss. The loss of love. This includes the loss of a loved one, or the protection he or she afforded you, or the loss of yourself by physical injury, disfigurement, or death. Any event that can symbolically indicate you are not lovable, such as rejection or abandonment, is also treated as a loss of love. The loss of control. This includes the loss of financial or political power or position, or anything that gives you influence over others. Underlying this loss is the fear of rejection. Losses of control make you more vulnerable to losses of love. The loss of self-esteem. This includes failure, being embarrassed, losing face, and being seen as flawed. Also in this category is the loss of youth and beauty, and with it your sexual allure. Anything that exposes your declining talents, or any slip in your prowess that might cause others to see you as a has-been, can lead to a loss of self-esteem. The loss of physical and mental strength from aging or illness can be seen as either a loss of self, a loss of control, or a loss of esteem, depending on the person. The activities today are critically important to being alive in the moment in order to resolve hurt rather than to store it as emotional debt. Do not take them casually. While these techniques have been simplified and their dynamics translated into unassuming language, they represent nearly 30 years of helping people tell others that they've been hurt when they hurt. In mastering these exercises, be open with your pain, and you will have the best chance of correcting the misunderstanding and maintaining good relationships with people you care about.